Hello everyone. So I've been wanting to restart my YouTube channel for a while, and I thought unboxing my hobonichi order would be a good place to start. So please excuse me while I'm a bit rusty and get back to this kind of thing. I did place kind of a big order for next year. I've been using hobonichi since 2022, so I'm not new to it and I know what I like to use. These were this year's books and also my A6, so I tend to use one of each and I know what my system is. But I did get some accessories and things this year, so I just thought I would unbox it all. It took me a while to get my order and it is actually been opened because I order direct from Hobonichi, but I use a shopping service, so that just means that I get it shipped to an address in Japan and then they ship it on to me, and because I then pay the yen prices, it's just cheaper, and I can order the things that Hobonichi will only ship to Japan. So I think this is the scroll that I ordered. I'm just gonna go through this stuff and then open that, as that makes sense to me. This is a lot smaller than I was expecting. I like this kind of thing a lot, and it means stay calm, and as someone who has anxiety, I thought that would just be really nice. I'm going to put it behind my desk. I used to live in Japan, so I like things like this that kind of remind me of my time there. These cases that Hobonichi released this year, I used this case for my A6 and I really like it a lot. I actually didn't know who the character was when I bought it. I just thought it looked like a really functional case. I liked all of the pockets. I liked how lightweight it was and that it wouldn't add a lot of bulk to my book, because I think with some of the traditional Hobonichi covers, they can feel like they give the book a much bigger footprint. And when a book is like really portable, like you want an A6 to be, it can just make it feel a lot bigger in your bag. So I really liked this cover and I knew it was good quality, like plastic and stuff. So this isn't the cover, this is the pocket. And I love the message on it. It says writing by hand is like sending your mind on a journey. And I really like travel. Like I said, I lived in Japan, I lived in Korea. I travel as much as I can. And so I just really like anything to do with travelling. It's like travelling and stationery are my two things, and I like anything that can bring them together. Which actually nicely kind of goes into this unintentionally. So as you can see, this is the One Piece cover. I'm just going to get this plastic off. So this was like my big buy this year, and I'm not going to lie, it's the one that I'm most excited about. I have a confession to make in that I'm not actually like a huge One Piece fan, and this isn't a new cover, and I've looked at it and I've sort of stayed away from it because I'm not a huge One Piece fan, even though I wanted it, because I felt like I didn't want to be one of them people who like wears a band t-shirt and they don't know who the band are. Do you know what I mean? I do know what One Piece is. I have watched some of the anime. I've never read the manga. I might one day, so I know like the gist of it and kind of what it's about and like the main characters and stuff like that. I first heard of One Piece when I lived in Japan. I moved to Japan in 2020. I was there over the pandemic, and that was the first time I'd ever heard of One Piece. I worked in a junior high school and lots of the kids had like One Piece stationery and stuff like that. I saw the anime on TV and it was just everywhere, and so it feels sentimental to me in that way because it just reminds me of my time living in Japan, because it was kind of always in the background. So I feel like although I may not be a huge One Piece fan, not to like never say never, like I say, I do know what it is and I like what I've seen of it, so maybe one day I will be, but I felt like it was enough of a justification to get a cover without being like a huge fan of stuff for the sentimental reason. So this is the, is it Going Merry? Yeah, the Going Merry logbook. Ooh. I can't stop sniffing it. It's like as soon as I pulled it out of that dust jacket, I could just smell the leather. So it's got this little buckle. This design is like a few years old, as I said. And what I like most about it is I like the trifold. I wouldn't have thought I would have liked a trifold, but like I said, I had this year, and I don't know, I just really, I think before I would have thought a trifold would have taken up too much room. But when you've actually got your book open, it's really only this bit, so it doesn't really make that much difference. And when you take into account, like I said, the pen loops and things that are usually on a hobonichi cover, it's not really that much bigger. And this is so nice. Oh, I'm obsessed with this. I'm just going to move this up away. Yeah, this is going to be like, my cousin is really my main book, and so I thought treating myself to a sort of like really nice cousin cover. This is like the cover that I want to use all the time. This is my cousin this year. I've been using this Brownie Plaid. I got this in like 2022, I think, so I've been using it ever since then. You can see that I added an elastic to just keep it closed because I've got the hon this year. I really like having the hon, but I found I missed having a cover and like pockets to put things in. But the hon doesn't fit, you can't fit the front cover in because it's hardback. So this was just kind of flapping around, so I stitched on an elastic, and I actually really like the elastic to keep it closed instead of using the pen loops. But this doesn't feel super portable, so that was another reason that I was interested in the trifold. And I know it may sound kind of silly, but like I really like the map in the background, and I think it's to do with my sort of travel thing. I really like the aesthetic of maps, and old maps in particular. And I don't know if it's leather, I don't know if it's the fact that it's called a logbook, I don't know if the fact that it's got a map, but something about this, and I don't think this is going to make sense to literally anyone except me, but it kind of gave me Traveller's Notebook vibes. Like I said, I don't know if this, like, anyone is going to understand what I mean by this, but I tend to only really use my Traveller's Notebook when I'm travelling. I've tried using it as like a daily journal, and it's just too unstructured for me for that. I like to create bound volumes when I go places, but just for like day to day, it's not structured enough, and I really prefer the bound book of a hobonichi. I really, with this cover, I just feel like, you know, people customise these. The big thing of Traveller's Notebook is like the patina and the customization and all of that kind of thing, and that's the vibe this gave me. Like, I just feel like I want to customize it, like maybe I'll put a patch or something on it. I want to see this nice leather kind of patina and start to get scratched up and kind of, like, not deliberately, but just, you know, tell a story of the life that it has with me. I'm really excited about that prospect of this cover. I'm really excited about it. And like I said, it's got that sentimental feeling from my time in Japan as well. And it just, I feel like with this, it's going to make me want to carry my cousin with me everywhere. So I'm really excited about this cover, and looking at it in person, I'm even more pleased that I invested in this. This is so nice. It's got a little pocket in the back as well. This is a pocket. Obviously that's where you put the book. Yeah, this is really nice, I'm so excited. So into the main box. I do really like the colour of the box this year. This kind of pastel blue is very much my vibes. I don't know if this is controversial, I don't usually keep the hobonichi box, but this is actually in really nice condition because obviously there's stuff outside of it, so it didn't ship. It's not got like shipping labels and stuff on it. So I think I'm actually going to keep this box. I usually just put them in the recycling. I really like reading these as well. They're kind of weird and they don't always make sense, but I sort of like them. I like that a lot about kind of Japanese sayings and philosophies and things like that. Like, I got the English weeks this year. I usually use the Japanese ones, but I got the English one. And I've actually been kind of enjoying reading the quotes because some of them are kind of nonsensical, but I like it. Okay, so I'm just gonna like take everything out the box. Okay, so like I said, I ordered like a lot of accessories and things this year. So 3 pens. Like I said, I use a Weeks, an A6 and a Cousin. Maybe I'll make a separate video kind of explaining how I use them all. I don't like the hobonichi pens, so I might put these on like a group or something. They are really nice for ballpoints, but I really don't like ballpoint pens. I use either rollerballs or fountain pens. These are the departure and arrival stamps. I know that I'm talking a lot about travel and it kind of maybe implies that I'm jet setting all of the time. I'm absolutely not. But I liked these regardless, even if I'm not like jumping on an aeroplane, even so much as like once a year. I just thought these were cute and I really like them. Like I said, I'm kind of obsessed with the whole sort of travel aesthetic. So when I saw that they were releasing these, I really felt like I needed them. So I really like these index tabs. I did get some last year and I actually don't know what I did with them. They're not on my cousin. So I ordered a new set and I am going to use them this year. I just really like how they're wavy and they're kind of subtle rather than like a big tab sticking out or anything. I like ones that kind of disappear into the book. And I got some book darts. I've seen people use these and they always look really nice. And adding them to my hobonichi order was actually like a lot cheaper than if I bought them from within the UK. So I just went for it. So these are 3 notebooks. I like all of the designs, but I'm gonna assume that I've got 2 doubles here because everybody seems to have a double. Oh, it's the black one. I actually thought this was a pretty good freebie this year instead of like those random little bags we got last year. What even was that? Yep, they're the same. It's like, I know that they're free and I'm appreciative that they're free, but at the same time, would it have really hurt hobonichi to just shuffle? Do you know what I mean? It definitely takes some of the excitement out when you're just getting duplicates instead of random. Like with the bags last year, I watched people's unboxings and they received different bags in the same order. And I just don't get, I know that they're covered in the silver wrap, but just shuffle the pile. So I got the Paddington weeks and I also got the stickers. Paddington is kind of really sentimental to me. My granddad was a train driver and he operated from Paddington station, so my mum grew up in the vicinity within walking distance of Paddington station. I didn't. I grew up in South London, but my mum was from around Paddington. So I've got a lot of family history with Paddington station, and whenever I've like been travelling or lived abroad, I've always taken a Paddington bear as like a little memory of home kind of thing. So when I saw Hobonichi were doing a collaboration with Paddington, I just really had to get on that. And I really liked the weeks. I actually wasn't going to go for the weeks for 2025, but when I saw this, I knew that I needed it. I also initially wasn't intending on ordering straight away. I would often leave my Hobonichi order until like November or something, just because I don't always think, like, there's still months left in the year. You don't necessarily need things straight away, and I kind of try and avoid the hype and get things that I actually want and need. But I could tell that this was going to sell out and I was going to have a hard time getting it, so I did place my order on the release day. Yeah, I really love, like, it says down the spine, please look after this bear. And the little tag. This is actually nicely textured as well. I wasn't sure if it was going to be shiny. It feels more like canvas. Like, it's not canvas, but it's got a canvas texture, if you know what I mean. They did do some Paddington covers as well, but I wasn't keen on the colours, whereas this just felt sort of a bit more subtle. But yeah, I'm really, really pleased that I managed to get this. This is going to be something that I'm going to really enjoy next year. And I've got the unhinged leaflet. All of my books are Japanese, so I'm not expecting to be able to read any of this. Oh, it's in English as well. I saw someone say that it looks like a Chinese propaganda poster, and I kind of agree. The main genre of like books and movies and stuff that I like is horror, but there's just something a bit uncanny about this that I really don't like. It is definitely giving kind of propaganda vibes as well. And then I also got the Paddington stickers. So I mostly got these, like, I love a sticker, but I just liked this pouch as well. I thought that maybe it could be used, I mean, even in the cover, like I could put it in one of these and then it can hold stuff or something like that, maybe like there, and then it just feels a bit less temporary than a pack of stickers by getting this little pouch with it as well, although it is a bit neon. So I accidentally ended up with 2 of these. So I got up in the middle of the night and I tried to place my order as soon as the launch dropped on Hobonichi's website, and we all know how that went down. When I saw things were selling out, I went onto Amazon Japan and I had things that were selling out on Hobonichi's website because I kind of panicked. And I ordered things on there to go to my shipping service. And some of the things I managed to cancel, but they wouldn't let me cancel this for some reason, even though it hadn't shipped. So I've ended up with 2. I still wanted to order the one from Hobonichi though, because I wanted the free gift, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm probably gonna sell one of them. But this illustrator is actually what got me into Hobonichi and interested in the brand. The first Hobonichi item I ever got was, I think it's called Count the Lights. I first saw this cover in, I think it was February 2022. It was out of stock and I ended up having to buy it, like I was just so obsessed with it, and I ended up having to buy it from a website in Taiwan just so that I could get it. It's brand new. I didn't buy it from like a reseller or anything. It was just a stationery shop that happened to ship internationally, which I was super grateful for. And then the year after that, I got the Weeks, and I've just always really loved this illustrator's work. It's very whimsical and I just really like it a lot, and this was my favourite design. I wanted this Weeks and I wasn't as keen on the Weeks design, so I just went with this. I did really like the cherry blossom cover that she did as well, but I just feel like I don't like to collect covers, I like to use covers, and there's only so many you can have. Yeah, I do kind of I wish it was like a matte texture like this instead of being so shiny. I don't know if it's going to fit in the covers as well. I did get an A6 cover, which is here. I'll get to that in a minute, but I don't know if it'll fit. I'll try it when I open it. But yeah, it's just an A6 and I really enjoy the cover. I do like the pencil board you get with the hon as well. So if I go straight into the cover, I didn't need an A6 cover, but I just really liked the slogan on it, to be honest. I know previously these covers were "Have a nice day," but I really like "Only is not lonely" because kind of going back to the whole travel thing, I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, but I usually travel on my own and I'm like fiercely independent, and I just don't believe in like waiting around for people to do the things that I want to do. And people love to project their own insecurities onto that, and so I just really liked the slogan. It meant a lot to me and really resonated. This isn't real leather. I got the A6 because I just straight up didn't like the colour scheme that they did on the cousin, and obviously I was splurging on a cousin cover already, so I got it for the A6. I don't usually like getting fake leather products because it's plastic, but I had to make an exception for this. I don't think it's going to fit, no. No, it doesn't fit. I wasn't expecting it to fit, honestly, but if you wondered and wanted to know if you could fit a hon into this cover, no you can't. Like I showed earlier, you can with a regular kind of butterfly stopper cover, if that's something that you're interested in doing, but you can't with these kind of more minimal covers. It doesn't fit. So this is the second hon. This is obviously my cousin. I got the black gingham hon for next year because I really enjoyed using the hon this year, but I wanted something that was less of a hardback book to obviously fit in the one-piece cover. I just enjoy that it looks like more of a finished book than the regular cover, which looks like it's more designed to have a cover on top of it. I thought this is nice because then I can like put stickers or things on it if I wanted to, and I just prefer the aesthetic of like a plain black notebook. But yeah, it's just a regular cousin on the inside. I know there's been a lot of comments about paper quality, so I'll probably just do a little swatch test at the end. I am a little bit nervous. I always prefer to get the Japanese editions as well, because obviously like it's still really easy to navigate, but it's just less distracting. Like when it's written in English, generally I don't want it sort of distracting from my actual entry, and when it's in Japanese it looks more aesthetic. So yeah, that's the hon. Is it hon or hone? I never know how I'm supposed to say it. Everything is just an absolute mess here. Oh, this is the pockets. This was a new release this year and it's just literally some pockets. So they're sticky and large and you can put things in. These are the A6 size, I think. So yeah, so it's actually bigger than the A6 book. I don't know if you can see there's a lot of overlap there. But I did actually get it for the cousin. I thought it'd be nice just to like put there or something. And I liked the colour of this size as well. It's not quite so garish. And like I said, pastel blue is kind of my colour. So I also got one of the Fireside Chat notes. I got the B6. I feel like B6 is like a nice size because it's bigger than A6 but not as big as A5. And like I said, I kind of like the quotes that are on the box and I really like the quote that's on this notebook. So it says, you write, you draw, as you move your hand, the line starts to run, and with the lines, your mind runs free. So writing by hand is like setting your mind on a journey, see? I just thought that's really nice. As both a journaler and an illustrator, it sort of makes me think of, you know, when I'm drawing or writing, I just kind of get into a kind of flow state, I guess, and it just sort of reminds me of that. I'm not gonna lie, I don't love the fact that it's lined. I don't generally like lined notebooks, but I liked the quote enough that I thought I would just deal with it. And I do like that some of the lines are kind of, it's got a little swirl. I don't know if you can see that. That's what I love about Hobonichi, the way they just sort of add a little whimsical touch here and there, like a swirl in the middle of a lined notebook. I have no idea what I'm going to use this for, but I liked it. I like to put things back in their cover as well because, like, realistically, a lot of this stuff is just going to go back in its box until New Year. It's why I'm not generally bothered about ordering as soon as stuff comes out unless I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to get something, because I'm not someone who likes to set things up in advance. If anything, I want to kind of forget about it and then I can pull it out at New Year and it still feels like a brand new product that I'm excited to use. I don't want it to feel like a used book before the year's even started. So I got more of these stickers of this weird rabbit. These stickers are really weird, but it's grown on me. Like I said, when I got the A6 cover, I didn't know who the character was and I've just really fallen in love with her. She's just so awkward and uncomfortable and I really relate to her a lot. So I just wanted, I mean, look at that. Look at her. How is that not relatable? And there's loads of stickers like that. I really want to show you my favourite. These are like become one of my favourite things to put in my journal. They're just so, they're kind of insane and just so relatable. So you get these little emotion kind of stickers as well that are on a clear background. You get this one it's supposed to be like a mystery, but it's basically her in the dark. And these are, they're just a mood, honestly. I mean, sweating and embarrassed is like my most common state. That is me on Hobonichi release day. Like, I love all of these so much. They are such a mood. I just really love sticking these in my journal, so I had to get another set because I am the kind of person who, like, I save stickers and I kind of hate it about myself because it's like I buy them to use them and then I feel like I have to wait for the right moment to use it. I thought if I get a second set, because like I said, I got this last year, then I might actually be able to bring myself to use them. And then I got a cover for the weeks. I actually wasn't sure if this was going to need it because I was kind of expecting it to be sort of shiny like this, but I'm really glad I got it because it's cream and it's matte, so I feel like it's actually going to really need that. So in retrospect, I'm really glad I threw that in. I know I could have probably like reused one from this year, but I kind of want to keep it on this year when I archive it. So I just want to now do a quick pen test. So this is the ink I use most. This is a TWSBI extra fine nib and it's got a black ink. It's the, I can't remember what it's called. It's the Noodler's one that is supposed to be the one that was used on the Manhattan Project or something. I'll put the name of the ink on the screen if you're bothered. It's my favourite like day-to-day ink, so it's the one that I'm probably going to be using the most. I really don't like marking it already, but I really want to just check if the paper is okay. I'm like anxiously not doing much. That is absolutely fine. So there's no fear with that. There's been so much talk of all of the bleed through on like the Reddit and Facebook and all of the different hobonichi groups that it just really scared me as to what these books were going to end up being like. I think it mostly affects the 5-year. Yeah, that's fine as well. I'm like breathing a huge sigh of relief now. And that's fine as well. So I got all good batches. I'm like huge sigh of relief over that. So that is the whole order, and these are like all of the journaling supplies that I'll be using next year. I used to be a chronic journal hopper, but I've really gotten out of that this year, and I'm actually really proud of myself because I realised how swapping journals all of the time was like, there was no stability in that. And like I say, I get anxious about like using stickers and things like that and then using them in something, and I don't know if I'm going to be sticking in that book or not, or switching to something else. It's like, I'm really glad I got myself out of that toxic loop and found a system that actually works for me and that I'm really content in, and that I can splurge on things like expensive covers now and know that I'm going to use it. So this was actually a very satisfying order to place with Hobonichi, because it's like, I know I'm going to be using all of these things next year, and I just feel really secure in that. I'm really content. So I'm going to put everything back in its box and then hide it in a cupboard somewhere until New Year. I might make a separate video at some point just going through my system and how I use my books. If you're interested in that kind of thing, let me know. Like I said, I am wanting to come back to my YouTube channel and start making videos fairly regularly. Some of it might be on journaling, some of it might be on my illustration work, some of it on like vlogs and things. If you look back at my old videos, it will be more of the same kind of thing, but just updating and keeping it fresh. So I hope I'll see you in those future videos, and thank you for watching.